Hey, this is Coach Woolley, the Holistic Trainer, and this is a demonstration of the floor bridge exercise. This exercise is done on the floor, so make sure whatever surface that you're on is comfortable. You're going to begin by lying flat on the floor with your knees bent, and if necessary, due to neck discomfort, you may want to have a small pillow underneath your head to help provide support. And you're going to start by bringing your heels as close to your hips as possible. And when we go to perform the exercise, the first thing you're going to do is get rid of any excessive arch that you may have around your lower back. So you can see here how I can fit my whole hand behind my lower back. I'm going to start by putting a slight tuck in my tailbone so my back becomes flat against the floor. And as I do that, I'm drawing my abdominals in. Think about pulling your belly button or your navel towards your spine. That's going to help increase core stability. Next step is I'm going to start by pushing my feet down into the floor. And then when I go to raise my hips up, I want to squeeze my glute muscles on both sides. In fact, I suggest, especially if this is the first time you're doing it or first few times, to actually use tactile cueing and push against your glutes to make sure you can feel them engaging. Then you're going to bridge up, pushing your hips all the way towards the ceiling. And you're going to hold it for however long the protocol says to hold it for. And then slowly bring your hips back down towards the floor. Simple enough. Now let me give you some additional cues to focus on. Again, we want to keep our back flat. I want to lift my hips up and move my spine segmentally. What that means is I first want my glutes to lift, then my lower back, then my middle back. And it's going to be the reverse on the way down. I want to start by slowly lowering my hips so my middle back touches the floor, then my lower back, and finishing with my hips. On the way up, I'm going to inhale, breathing in. And I don't want to stop when I'm only halfway. You'll notice that it looks like I'm all the way up, but if I just squeeze my glutes a little bit more and drive my feet a little bit more into the floor, I'm going to be able to get a bit more range of motion and get better engagement from my glutes. Then when I begin to go down, I'm going to exhale as I descend back down. Key focus point is to feel each hip working equally. What that means is I don't want one side to be working much more than the other, and I don't want to have any sort of twisting or torsion in my hips. Make sure that you have balance between both sides, and at the top you feel each glute working equally. Breathing in, segmentally lifting up, hips coming all the way up, and exhale on the way down. Then one more cue you want to do or focus on is that I want to have full extension from the hips, but I don't want to start to arch my back to get my hips higher. You'll notice here I went from good hip engagement to arching my back to get my hips higher. You can see my abdominals are significantly less engaged. So I only want to push my hips as high as possible with my back staying flat when I'm performing the movement. And this is how you perform the floor bridge exercise.